So, Abraham needs to chill the fuck out. Welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss my last impressions of Selena the series. This is episodes 5 through 9. Now, if you watched my previous video, my first impressions of Selena the series, episodes 1 through 4, I loved it. I loved everything about it. I didn't really have a single huge problem with it. Now that I've watched the rest of the series, how do I feel about it? Before we get into that, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that. Then we're going to come back and discuss all things that are wrong with Selena the series, episodes 5 through 9. You guys have hopefully subscribed to see more of me. Let's get into the show. Let's get into these problems. For starters, I like to say I do understand that Selena's family is Mexican and American and, Hispanic, Latino cultures. Households, upbringings, dynamics are different. So I do understand that. But I do not think that neglects from the fact that I feel like Abraham, Selena's father, has an unhealthy obsession with his daughter. Not only with his kids, with all the kids in particular, but especially with Selena. Episodes 5 through 9, I just saw so many red flags of Selena being treated like a possession and not all the time being treated like a daughter, being treated, like a trophy. I don't feel like she had a lot of time to really mature and just grow as a woman and as a person, and that she was stifled a whole lot, not only by her family, but mainly by her father. In the movie, we saw, little glimpses of this and that there and controlling as far as her relationship. But in the series, we get so much of them controlling all aspects of her life. And it's really unhealthy and kind of cringy to see here. And with Selena's family being so tight-lipped about how, Selena's portrayed and how they're portrayed as a family, as we saw with the Selena movie, they wanted certain things left out. But what we see here, I'm just really wondering, what all did you guys leave out? Because what I'm seeing here is very unpleasing. It's just really difficult to see a parent stifle their daughter in such a way. It was almost borderline how a boyfriend or a husband would be possessive over his wife's behavior. It was very controlling. Didn't like that. Now, not only have we seen Selena be controlled in her family, but she's controlled, as well as, her music career, her fashion choices, which way she wants to go in. And you just see the last episodes that she's never really had any room just to be her, just to grow, just to make her own adult choices. I kept, finding myself checking to see, she's grown here, right? She's, not 16, 17, 18. We're, moving upward to the, 19, 20, 21 stage. And she's still being treated very much like a young teenager, almost not even having, as much freedom as the regular 15 to 16-year-old. And it's just well, damn, who was there to make sure, healthy decisions were being made for her as a growing adult. None of the children had, their space just to grow and be themselves. And then I remember, last video I spoke about the wife and wanting to know more about, her relationship with her mother, as far as, the role she played in her career. And you can see with the dynamics of Abraham and his wife, she's, very neutral. She's very soft-spoken. She's, she kind of speaks her mind, but is very, like, I say something, but I don't say too much. And she's like kind of submissive, which is, typical in, that type of household. But she wasn't even there to kind of, step in to say, Abraham, I think you're doing too much. Relax. Of course, we see her saying, you need to take a step back from their career and just, bask in the success that we're having. You don't always have to be 2 to 3 steps ahead. But as far as the treatment of his overprotection of his daughter, she doesn't say anything about that. We even see that Abraham's, obsessive behavior has kind of been passed down and instilled in his older children as far as Selena is concerned. Like, we see that they put a lot of pressure on her just as a woman and, as a girl, as a female, to go, if this happens, if you decide to explore, your feelings, your passion for fashion, your growing feelings for Chris, you could ruin everything for us. You know what's going to happen. There's so much mention of, you don't want him to get fired. You're going to ruin everything. Somebody's getting fired. Like, Lord, I'm just trying to go on a date. I'm just trying to have my first kiss. I'm trying to have, my first embraces, my first experience in my adult life. When people genuinely have these things prior in their teenage years. Here she's 19, 20 years old, 21, and we have yet to explore anything in our life outside of music. And when we do, it's like it's a crime. And not only are we hearing it from the husband, but you have the wife and you have your siblings. Like, that's a lot. And you see so much pressure being put on her, to, if she wants to explore her desires and feelings outside of anything but the family dynamic in music, it's a penalty. Like, you almost felt, really kind of sorry for her. And that's not how I want to feel, for Selena. Now, we are continuing to see Selena's family, dad and siblings alike, put all this pressure on her to only be focused on music, her career, singing. You're not allowed to do this. You're going to ruin everything. Imagine hearing your family continue to say, you're going to ruin everything. If this all falls apart, it's your fault. Yet, in the same voice, they are able to date, get married, have relationships, explore emotions, have children, bring these children and wives on tour. Like, they're allowed to do these things. And I kind of felt like Suzette was being really inconsiderate towards the end of, going, oh, I just know how AB feels, with this and that. I'm kind of feeling that now with, I believe his name is Bill, not being able to, explore love and see someone whenever you want to. And Selena's like, hello, what about me? What about me? What about Selena? Like, what do I get? As you saw with AB even saying, what are you doing? Why aren't you in the studio? I need you here. I need you to do this. What were you doing? She's like, well, hell, I was getting, costuming and stuff together. Other things I want to explore. I really love fashion. I can't control any other aspects of my life. At least let me have this. She couldn't even have that. We continue to see Abraham try to control every single aspect of not only Selena's life, but the band's life. Like, you should be able to be yourself within a band. I understand that, he wanted, it's a family act, we're professional, no cursing, no drugs, no nightlife, no this. But at the same time, all of these people in these bands are growing adults. Like, you can't stifle and control everything, with him ready to, fire someone at the drop of a dime just for being a minute or two late, or going up when he finds a joint on the bus, holding it up like it's whole crack. Like, chill out, Abraham. Chill the fuck out. I see your vision. I see what you're going for, but you need to relax. Even with AB, we see these, immensely amounts of pressure being put on him, which in turn make him put more pressure on his sister for him to write these songs and have a hit go platinum. We need to be big. We need to grow. The bigger and better those songs are, the better your sister comes off, the more awards we get, the more growth we have, and the more, stronger chances we have for that English album. There's so much pressure being put on him, and you see that he is clearly stressed out, and he takes that out on, members of the band and his sister most of all. And he can't even really enjoy having a hit song or the song being on the radio or, a record going gold without Abraham being right there to go, what about the next one? You need to be prepared. You need to be better. You can do better, son. Even with, him having to take up the slack for Abraham wanting to fire everyone, on a whim at his leisure, and him having to go and find and replace someone on a whim that fits with their Tejano sound in their band. It was a lot. We also get to see the record label play those record label games, having you sign a contract and you're thinking one thing, and then once you get there and you start, it's something completely different. Now, we see, what's taken that English album so long, and that they didn't have the strongest faith in Selena as a crossover artist. We also see, them changing things like her image, the typical things. But we also still get those strong aspects of what we do like about Abraham, him as a, a manager, and how he's trying to make sure the bag is safe and that his family are being treated fairly and well. Now, this is where kind of the line was drawn for me, and I was, is this all strictly for Selena, or is this more so for you? Oh no, tell me what y'all thought. We also get an introduction of Yolanda here, the lady who took Selena's life. It's very short and pretty brief, but I really didn't like how, because we see that she was groped in a nightclub and Selena was attacked. But, everything, it was a big thing for that, about her protection and keeping her safe. But when we are introduced to the Yolanda character, there isn't a lot of investigation into her character. It was very much, oh, we need help with the fan club. We're just going to hire this woman. And she's just brought kind of into the fold from what we can see off the strength of a phone call from Suzette. I didn't understand why they let that fly, with how controlling her father was in every other aspect of her life. This woman who we know came in and took her life was just let in without a second thought. Now, in closing, the best things that we do get to see in this series is that they finally get some damn seats and some beds in that tour bus. That was great to see. I was so happy when they finally got that. We see them, get to kind of revel in their, newfound income, where, he has, bought all the houses outright and paid off all the mortgages for the family. And we still get to see Selena stifled in that area. She has to, feel guilty about, spending money where she wants to, buying the car she wants, not realizing she doesn't have to settle. This is money that you not only work for, but your family. Mostly you, because you have sacrificed so much. Girl, buy that damn car, buy that Porsche or whatever that was. And we get strong things with that. Of course, we still get more music and more songs, and it's nice to see how AB came up with those songs and where they came from. That was good to see here. And most of all, we get to see the love between Selena and Chris, and how it began, and how innocent it was, and how much it should have been cherished, not by only, Selena, but her family. This is someone who cared about her and respected her family, and, didn't look like he would jeopardize a thing to be shunned away from the family so hard as far as Selena was concerned. We even see those dynamics now, all the way 25 years later, with how Chris is being, treated as her ex, her husband, and how the family is. And, those dynamics have always been weird, and things that he's said, in the past few years, things Abraham have said, like, it's just always been a disconnect there. Even with the series now, he's, been very adamant about saying, he really hasn't been that involved with it, which is really sad, because I feel like he would have a lot to offer. But that was good to see here. It was very innocent, and it was just like, you're like screaming in the audience, like, let her have that. She doesn't have anything else. And if anything, this is, someone who is, not going to jeopardize the band or the music. He's in the band. He is the band in the music. What was he going to do that was so bad that she just had to be disconnected and, he's going to get fired? because Abraham said so. Like, he just act like he just walked on water his whole life in this series, and it was very unsettling to see that ending scene that we got towards the end of the series, moving on into when, you know, we get that season 2 of him, you know, finally finding out about the relationship, you know, after she's been badgered by the family. Don't do it, you can't do it, no, you're gonna get everything, you're gonna ruin everything, he's gonna get fired. And of course, when he found out, he got fired. Him putting Chris off the bus and he's a bad element. I know guys like that. Like, no, that's not what that was. This was not a case of a father just being overprotective of his daughter and trying to keep her away from certain elements. This was a controlling, passive aggressive anger issue. It was a problem. And I don't want everybody to watch this and see it as, oh, he cares so much. No, that it was a damn problem. Now, I did enjoy the series, and I will be looking forward to season 2. You know, we got that long, you know, goodbye and Selena being sad and Chris being put off. And I can say this, for the most part, the series has done good at, you know, pacing the story, because at the end of the day, we really already know how this story ends. Very sad, but it hasn't made it any less interesting to watch. I did enjoy the series, more so the first part than the second part, because Abraham out here looking crazy. But tell me what you guys thought about the series. Tell me if you guys think I'm overreacting about Abraham's behavior, as well as Suzette's, as well as AB's. Tell me if you see the dynamics as far as the relationship, as how Selena is being treated, as well as the other family, about, you know, the role her mom is playing. Like, who is there for her? I didn't see anyone there for her except for Chris. Like, Lord. And then we got, you know, the More Than Words. Like, that is my song. Like, more than words. I really like that. And them bonding over that, like, since they couldn't really express themselves all the time, they got to, you know, kind of listen to the song at the same time. Very great. Beautiful. All this beautiful love Abraham is trying to shut down. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I see you guys next time. Bye.